syllabus, the course policies, including, okay, now we're going to discuss the course syllabus, the schedule, and the grading and attendance policies. So we have learned that we need to be uniform in these policies. The students, they talk to other students that are in this class, and for their very first college experience, we want them to have the exact same experience regardless who the instructor is. So let's go over some of these policies. Let me share my screen. Okay, so here is a syllabus that I have put together for this fall. So this is all very standard. We will be going to the new syllabus software. Haven't done that yet. This is all very standard. And you, during the first week of class, you need to go over this with your students. There is no textbook for the class, as you might expect. Instead, there's just these presentations from all of the different faculty. Here, we have information on the technology requirements. The students might want to download the Pulse app, which is the Brightspace Pulse app, and okay, and then Wi-Fi and two-factor authentication. Okay, and then all of the learning outcomes, you can read through those on your own. The evaluation and grading policies. So this course is 50% attendance quizzes and 50% assignments. In the online only, instead of attendance quizzes, we call them lecture quizzes. So it's handled a little bit differently, but it's still 50% through either watching the videos or being present in online classes or in face-to-face classes, being present. And then it's 50% assignments. And we don't curve. So the attendance policy, and we're going to be talking about D2L. I'll talk then about how to measure attendance, but essentially we give them a D2L quiz that they have to answer a question, like, are you here and paying attention question. It's a very simple question. So that's how we're taking attendance. We have tried different things, but this seems to be the easiest for everybody involved. We do not open this attendance quiz at the same time. Every instructor does it a little bit differently. And when we do open it, it's only for like a minute, maybe 90 seconds. Because we don't want it just to be open, because that way students who aren't present in the class could log in and say they're there. So this is how we're handling it now. We're thinking about some other ways to do attendance, but this has worked pretty well for the past 2 years. Okay, on the course policies. Okay, they're expected to be there for their full length. Attendance is taken at the end of the semester. This is for the face-to-face. At the end of the semester, the lowest attendance quiz will be dropped. Both excused and unexcused absences will be managed by dropping your lowest attendance quiz. So this is good because we have such high numbers, such high volume in these sections that the first time we taught it, we had, a bunch of students that, had car trouble, overslept, all of these different excuses for not being in class. And so we've just went to this policy where we drop your single lowest attendance quiz. And so it's worked well. Late homework. Now this is harsh, but late homework is not accepted. No need to ask. They cannot submit late homework. There's no excuse for having late homework. They will know the first day of class when everything is due for the rest of the semester. So it's not like they haven't had enough time to work on things. We do not accept late homework. One of the reasons is because these classes are so large. Another reason is just we found that when the first semester we accepted late homework, every professor had a slightly different policy. The students ended up confused and they said, well, I thought it's only minus 10% a day because that's, how this other professor does it, but maybe you did it minus 20% a day. It was just kind of a nightmare. So no late homework. But obviously that's kind of harsh. So how we've gotten around that is during week 15, students are given the opportunity to create an extra assignment whose grade will replace the one on which they scored the poorest. So this seems to work well. Though I've got to say that the reason that students do poorly in this class, and the DFW rate is kind of shocking, 11, 12%. The reason why students do poorly is because they either just don't attend or they just don't do the homework. The homework is not difficult at all. So if they just would do the homework, they'll do well. But some students, I guess, just aren't ready for college, and they just don't do the work. Okay, so those are big key policies that you're going to need to go through during week 1 with your students. Course communication, AI use is prohibited in this class. Okay, and then there's info on the college Clue Center. So the course schedule, and please encourage them to go to the Clue Center. The course schedule. So what you need to do with this course schedule, and there's actually a different document, and you'll get both of these documents. You can find them on Teams, under files on our team in Teams. So you need to go through and customize this for your class. And what that entails is changing the dates. This is something I created for a Tuesday, Thursday class, for a Tuesday class. So these are all Tuesday dates. And the homework is due at the start of class. So you're going to need to go in and customize this. The first thing you're going to need to customize is looking at the Excel spreadsheet. Who's going to be teaching your students during week 2? They need to know who will be there. And so go ahead and make sure you get the proper name and title for your faculty that are in your group, and then go ahead and arrange it so that you have that section's appropriate schedule. Do not change the homework. You can really only change this part, like maybe ECE is coming in week 2 in this section, but in a different section, they're coming in week 10, that needs to be shifted. But when the homework is due does not get changed, and that you can see is in red. So homework is due at the start of class during weeks 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. And then during week 15, they can do this engineering design quiz, which is to make up, if they want to, replace their lowest grade with the grade on this. So they are given that opportunity in case they forgot about a homework, which is the typical reasons they got a 0 on one of the homeworks, or maybe they just did really poorly. You'll see, so there are 7 assignments. 3 of them have to be hand graded. So it's expected that you should be given a grading assistant, an undergraduate grading assistant, to help you with this. When the class was first developed, that was one of the things we were told is, because these are large sections, 118 students, and you only get 1 credit of teaching for it. So, you can have so many students. Like I have 3 sections this semester. I know Matt Marshall has 3 sections. You get a lot of students. And so it is kind of a lot of tedious homework. But we'll talk more about the homework and the grading. I have developed grading rubrics for each of the homework assignments that have to be hand graded. And so we'll talk more about that when we talk about D2L. So this is the syllabus. Change the dates, change the sequencing, change the name of the professor. This is set up right now. This is out of group 2. So these are all the names of the professors in group 2. And so just change the order in which they come. But don't change the homework time. And homework is due at the start of that week's class. So for me, time management is due week 3. For me, that is Tuesday, the 2nd of September at 11 a.m. because this is an 11 a.m. class that I'm looking at. Okay, so that is the syllabus. So the schedule can be found there. And these grading policies, I have found that the grading policies need to be repeated like so many times. The students freak out about the grading policies, especially when they can't turn in a homework late, or if they missed a class. So just need to just keep repeating it to them. They seem to be pretty satisfied when we tell them that there's this extra assignment week 15 they can do if they want to use that grade to replace their lowest grade. Okay, they don't have to do that. All right, so that's all for this video. Thanks for your attention. Bye.